You probably are.
I will be right there. It's so funny. You're live and my thing is still redirecting. Turn your phones down.
All right.
I'm coming. I am here. Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Quest Show. It feels like it's been so long. We were not here last week. It seems like it's been a while when we miss a week. I don't like missing a week because I miss all of you guys. So anyway, I am Lana Quest, and this is my lovely co-host,
Honor.
with the great jewelry.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Look at that
I decided to just kind of like pull something different out of the jewelry box. Yes, I did.
I love it. So before we get started in this packed show, we're going to ask everyone to please like this video. Please share this video. Y'all ain't sharing this video. Share this video with your family.
Share this video because we have a great time.
We do have a great time. Give it the thumbs up, share this video. And if you're out there for the first time and you have not subscribed, please subscribe right now. Or if you're out there and it's not your first time and you have not subscribed, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a show.
Exactly. You will know exactly when we are on, when we are going live. Yep.
Right. So, so we're going to just jump right in. Let's just dive in. So before we actually formally get started, we do want to stop and take a minute to talk about what's going on in Florida, the hurricane,
Ian.
Hurricane Ian. Ian is like the second largest hurricane, I believe. Is it?
Something like that.
He's the second. I don't even
second or the fifth. I don't know. Because there's like Andrew, there's
Katrina.
You
know
what? Here's the thing though with Katrina. It was right. It was the levees breaching that did it, right?
But I think it was a category 4 though, right? But it wasn't.
It was either 3 or 4. It wasn't a small one. Yeah, it wasn't. Right. It wasn't. So
whatever the case is, our hearts are with Floridians, all of the Floridians except for Ron DeSantis.
A couple of things about Ron. Ron has now remembered that he is the governor of one state, and as any competent governor would, he has reached out to President Biden for FEMA. So thank you on behalf of all of the residents of Florida that are going to be impacted by Ian. Look at you, tearing down your phone.
I know. I was like, oh my God, the nerve of me. I was like, Sorry.
So that's good news, right? I mean, that's what governors are supposed to do. The governor of Kentucky, right? You know, when they had that catastrophic flooding, he reached out to Biden, and Biden was right there, and Biden will be right there for Floridians as he has Puerto Ricans, Texans, Kentuckians, all of them. But the other thing about DeSantis, aside from his so very hard to watch news conferences, updates, I was watching an update. It was yesterday, and he was speaking on, different things that they had in place. They had Black Hawk helicopters coming down from Tennessee and, so many, like all of the resources, which was really good. And then he said, for the people that are sending items, we don't need any items. We have everything we need. You can just send money. He said, but you don't need to send it to the nonprofits, or I guess the Red Cross or whomever. We have a fund set up that you can send money to. And I did not catch the name of the fund, but what I did catch was that it was going to be some private fund that DeSantis was going to have control over, that probably wasn't going to have any government oversight. And my best guess is he was going to have some of his cronies come in, make millions of dollars off of that fund, doing substandard ass work trying to recover Florida. And that is just not going to benefit those people at all. So if you wish to donate to the people of Florida, whether that be items, water, it's one of those cities down there that doesn't have any water right now.
Is it Lee or somewhere
I
like
think
that?
it
There's like
is.
9 hospitals that don't have water. They had to evacuate the
Right. So like, what are
hospitals.
you talking about? We have everything we need.
That's the part, right? Like, I know we don't know for sure that he's going to take some of this money for himself and like keep it so when he runs for president, but who says that? Like, who says don't send Pampers for people?
Or
Who
water,
says,
or bottled water.
or water, or generators? Like, who says don't send
Who
any of these
says
things?
we don't need
Canned
items.
goods.
We have everything we need.
Ask the people of Florida, because I know the people of Florida, like, excuse me, what are you talking about right now? I don't even have a house, nor do I have food. So what are you talking
Like
about?
they
I have
could
everything.
not stand to have people send
Clothes?
formula.
Right. Clothes? How about clothes?
Oh yeah, because even if your house stood, if it was flooded, you may have been with the clothes on your back in the shelter that you
Clothes
had to go to.
on
So
your back.
that statement right there, and then not to, and we are going to find this information, nonprofits and official places. I'm sure the Red Cross is one. World Central Kitchen is another. Chef Jose Andres, because he is not only is he feeding Floridians now, he's feeding Ukraine.
Right.
He's feeding people in Puerto Rico.
Right.
Donate to him, because those people down there don't need money placed into a privately directed fund that Ron DeSantis is touting.
Isn't that unbelievable? Like, he literally said that.
Go freaking unbelievable.
Unbelievable. We have everything.
Don't send people sending items. Don't send items. We have everything we need. And that is a direct quote.
No, he's Ron DeSantis is awful. Florida, you need to look at the way he's handling his business right now. Look at the position that you're in. I mean, of course, this is a natural disaster, but this is also a part of the climate crisis, the thing that Ron DeSantis is denying. You just had buildings that were on the ocean shore collapse, right? Because they're so busy, like the structure and the rules with the structure and the regulations, but it's the ground that's giving out because you can't keep building on these ocean fronts. Is making the water too warm and you're getting these storms. And Ron DeSantis won't give y'all insurance. Like, I guess
girl, I was watching him just before we came on. Okay, a couple of things. General Honorary, he was like, he went through this. I forget which hurricane it was, but it was in like Louisiana when they had the stuff last year. He said people had to fight with the insurance companies. He said insurance companies have gone bankrupt.
Yeah.
He said the recovery is going to be the most difficult part because insurance companies don't want to pay. They don't have it's an onerous process. Ron DeSantis, no more. It's 8:09. A half hour ago said everything is, we've got everything in place. We have insurers that are here that are going to help you and things are going to be resolved quickly. Liar.
Excuse me. 13% of Floridians have home insurance.
What?
Disaster. 13% of them have this kind of disaster insurance.
13. And then there's someone named, it wasn't Billy. Oh my God. This guy that if you call, he's going to take care of. The comptroller, somebody, he controls some money, fill it out, get in touch with him. When you come into the centers, you can interact with FEMA. Although you can do FEMA online, but if you got questions, you can come down. I forget the guy's name. Billy. It was something to that effect. We'll talk to you about your different options and work with you and work with the insurers. I was like, you are lying through your teeth.
Yeah. Yeah.
To those poor people.
Yeah. But the crazy thing, they will turn around and vote for Ron DeSantis.
Right.
This is not the first hurricane that Florida has had. So, I mean, go figure. Go figure it. Come on, Florida. This is not working for you. Let's move on a little bit.
Yes.
I'm sick of hearing Ron DeSantis's voice. I'm sick of talking about Ron DeSantis. What's next? Mahsa Amini. We want to talk about her? Iran.
Yes.
That we really need to remember Mahsa Amini's name. That is the 22-year-old that was arrested by the morality police in Iran, and while she was in police custody, she was killed. But they're saying that what are they saying, that she had a
medical, heart attack?
Yeah, some type of medical issue.
She went into cardiac arrest, but at 22.
Well, you know what? Cardiac arrest just means that your heart stopped. So that's not really a cause of death, because it's always going to be a cardiac arrest. Your heart is always going to stop.
Exactly.
So they could have beat the fuck out of her and her heart stopped.
Exactly.
We know that's exactly what they did. They tortured that young woman because a piece of her hair was out of her hijab. And they're saying it was only a slight piece of hair. So they kind of like pick and choose who they want to pick on for the day. So now they've been protesting for over a week now.
It's over a week. And let me tell you, I am glad to see it. Women everywhere, all over the world, are standing up for themselves, because we have to. A piece of hair, I had a piece of hair out and I have to lose my whole life for that.
Right.
I am applauding the people, the women, and it's probably not even just women, because there's a younger generation, right, that has access to the internet and other experiences, and so no, like, why are we still living under this, I don't know, 18th, 19th, 15th century set of rules where you just can't see no hair?
Right. And the morality police are fairly new. And you're right, like you said, there are men who are out there in the streets protesting. Iran's soccer team covered up the Iran, whatever this emblem is. They covered it in their games because they support the women. And these women, like this, these aren't just protests, because they've done a blackout right now. So they've cut off all internet access. So we really don't know what's going on in Iran. But
they said they were going to start cracking down.
You better believe they're killing these women. They're beating them and they're killing these women. But here's the thing: when you push a people hard enough, when you brutalize them enough, they don't care if they die anymore. It's worth dying for. And this is a lesson. This is a lesson to you, oath keepers, white nationalists, all the people that want this civil war. Y'all think y'all want this civil war? Because we always talk about this, like, yeah, it's the media that's afraid of the civil war. Black folks ain't. Black and brown folks.
People of color are not afraid of the civil war.
We're not afraid of civil war.
We're not afraid of no civil war. We are not. We are not.
No.
So bring it.
Bring it on. You see what's happening in Iran, how they're fighting back? Okay. Okay.
And y'all keep going with that myth. Just one more thing on that. Y'all keep going with that myth that all blacks are felons and can't own handguns, because that's a myth.
It's definitely a myth. It's definitely a myth. But anyway, let's go back to just one quick point on that. Because just think about it. This is the morality police are telling these women what they can do with their bodies. This is exactly what the Republicans are trying to do. They are trying to be morality police. They're already out here saying that they want the church to run things. The Republican states are changing their school systems back to that old way of like pledging allegiance and like mixing like the government and the church. They're trying to do that right now.
Because that's what that type of law is.
Exactly.
Right? Exactly. That's the type of regime that Iran is, where they have morality police and you have to live under a certain code, if you will. That is exactly what happens when you introduce religion, and therefore and your meaning, whomever you may be, concept of morality in your religion. And this whole Christian nationalist thing, not even denting Christians, because there are a lot of people, Christians out here that do not believe the craziness that goes on. That is just not, it's just not,
because it's not Christian.
The Constitution, it's not.
Christian at all.
Some of the most unholiest crap you've ever seen.
Right. The Republicans are making it up as they go. These are people that don't even go to church. Like they talk about God so much. I guarantee you Marco Rubio has not set foot in a church since Easter. For real. It's like these people or his cousin's wedding. Like, come on, stop playing. They're not in church. Stop playing. Those insurrectionists didn't have an insurrection on Tuesday or whatever the day was, and then go to church on Sunday. They did.
Or did they go to church the Sunday before and then insurrect on Tuesday? Like, how does that work exactly? How do you square that? I don't.
Right. How do you square that? Let us know. Anybody know in the chat how that's being squared? Because I absolutely don't know.
I don't know how that happens. Yeah, but on to other illogical. It's all in my head. I'm gonna make it up as I go along. Leaders. Dun, 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 dun.
Who gets the award for the
Vladimir Putin? So if you hadn't heard, go Ukraine. Putin called up an additional 300,000 people, men, right, to fight in the war,
right,
which also promptly resulted in protest. Because he lied. See what happens when you lie?
Yeah.
Oh, it's wartime exercises. What did he say it was? They can't call it a war.
Oh, they couldn't call it a war.
Special exercises or something like that. Yeah. Like, what do you need 300,000 men for special exercise?
And then he changed it to say he was fighting Nazis, that the Ukrainians were like Nazis.
Right. And then it's like, well, what happened to the other 300,000 that you sent over? Because they left their men dead in the fields.
Right.
So, so when he did that call out, it resulted in, previously he'd been taking people from the rural areas, but it hit people in the main Moscow, the Kremlin, all of that. And people are furious.
Right.
Furious.
Right. It's like mass exodus, or they're trying, because he when Putin got a load of like, oh, everyone's trying to run at the airports. Oh no, he's stopping them right at them borders.
The flights are done, but they said it's still a long line of cars. And you know what? One of the things that we talked about that has come to be true. Remember, I said the people. First of all, airline tickets are not cheap. So the people that are going to be able to get out of serving are like the middle class,
right?
Maybe upper middle class, people that had money in the bank to be like, no, we flying up out of here. Because they were saying people were buying one-way tickets.
Right. They're trying not to come back.
They're trying, right, which means that you had to have some money to stay somewhere once you got there. So that is going to leave the older man. Girl, the Washington Post did a article, and I believe they called them like the silver-haired artillery or something. They had a photo of those men, gray-haired men. One man was saying goodbye to his adult son. His hair full of gray. The adult son looked like he in his 20s, going off to war.
The adult son wasn't going to war?
I couldn't understand that. He was saying goodbye to his father. That man was saying goodbye to his son and his wife. And he had on a military uniform.
They're just going to die. Putin's just going to sacrifice men. Like, he knows that this is just going to sacrifice some men. Like, maybe we can ward them off for a little while longer before I think of my next move. Like, they're just sacrificial lambs.
And what he said, so this older gentleman, because they said he called up reservists from like 15, 20 years ago, people that had served at any time. So that's how you got a lot of older people, but the technology has changed. They were giving them 2 weeks training instead of 6.
Yes.
They had to bring their own sleeping bag. They told them to buy tampons for wounds. Yeah, for wounds. Stop.
They're about to freeze to death because it's about to be a very cold winter in Ukraine.
It is supposed to be. It is getting ready to be.
They are going to die. Like they're just going to freeze to death. Many of them will probably surrender to Ukraine.
Oh, I didn't even read the whole article, girl, but it already said that one of the soldiers immediately surrendered.
Yeah, I'm just going over and fight with Ukraine. Yeah.
Well, there was also a report where it said Putin is making Ukrainians fight with Russia. What makes you think they're not going to go over to Ukraine and immediately surrender and be back in Ukraine?
Yeah, like at some point he's going to run out of people that he can use. Like what like when does this end? Like when are you going to stop? Like already you're shooting yourself in the foot because this is going to have so many ramifications. Like you're taking all the men out of Russia. So there's not going to be any men. So your population is going to dwindle because ain't nobody having no babies because you've taken all the men out of Russia. Nobody's going to ever move to Russia anymore. Like this is like, what are you doing right now, sir? Like what? There's nothing. Oh, we know what he's doing. He's making nuclear threats.
Putin, go ahead. Like, I don't understand. You could nuke the land, but then it doesn't that render the land unusable for like years? Putin, you're not going to live that long to even be able to do anything with that land.
Well, he already know if he pulls out nuclear weapons that he's not supposed to be pulling out, he already knows the whole of the West and they're all going to come after him. He dies. At that point, he dies. They're going to find him because they probably already know where he's hiding and they're just going to bomb it. All of Russia would be done because guess what? How are they going to fight all of the West if they're over there fighting Ukraine? He didn't send $300,000. What he going to send the women to fight the West?
I don't think he put this through.
Right, exactly.
I heard he needs some generals and I know you're American and everything, but you know, Putin, if you're listening, ain't that what the dump normally say? Like, that's not a good plan, babes. Us Black women here, we have figured out that is not a viable plan.
Like, what are you gonna do with a war with the West if your people? I mean, you got Trump. Maybe Trump will be a general for you. He's got he's the smartest brain. He's got the biggest brain ever.
I got a bigly brain.
He's got a bigly brain, and he's the least racist in the room.
Oh yeah, and Walter is reminding us. Yeah, he tried to sabotage the pipeline.
Yeah, he sure did. Right.
And what did NATO say? Stop playing. You don't want that. You don't want this. You're not built for this life. You fighting a war that you're losing. You don't want NATO.
This is like, what kind of mess is going on with him? He really must be losing his mind.
Really. Like he is going to be taken out from the inside. This is just what I believe. I believe from the beginning, like when they started doing the sanctions and stuff, and everybody's like, man, what is sanctions going to do? When they started squeezing those billionaire tycoons and all of his closest circle, and don't none of them have access to their money, and don't none of their girlfriends or mistresses have access to their money, and they boats are gone, that's mutiny from the inside. Listen. Some of them people will never ever be able to get close enough to him, and they do all of that spy stuff. So yeah, you might have somebody sitting 30 feet across the room from you. That don't mean they don't have some poison pen that they don't,
some of that what is that called, anthrax or whatever he's using on people with. Like
somebody washes your clothes, you're not washing them yourself.
He may have somebody put them on for him before he put them on, because I'm sure he having someone eat. Just like, remember Hitler would have people like eat for his food before he ate it. He was not playing that. Girl,
wow.
Whole of a mess. Let's take a break. You want to take a break? Or we got more Putin because
no. I'm dubbing his newest 300,000 conscripts Hogan's Heroes.
That is the title of our show. The Russian Hogan Heroes, and all of people under like a certain age will be like, what is that?
If you know, you know.
All right, let's do some quotes and questions, guys. Let's play a game. If you don't know what quotes and questions is, it's where I ask questions and quotes, not verbatim, and the chat guesses the answer. So if you're out there and you're not in the chat, here's your time to jump in the chat so you can answer some questions or quotes. So let's put on some glasses so I can read that. You ready, Honor?
I am. I've watched a little bit of the news this week.
All right. You guys ready in the chat? Let's go. First quote it is, I am a country boy. I'm not that smart. He's a preacher. He is smart and wears a nice suit. Choking orange sludge. Putin's sick. What's going on? I did hear Putin was sick though, but is he really?
Oh, Walter said in his last interview, he broke down into a coughing fit and had to end it.
Yay. Oh, that's what Andrea said. He was choking on orange sludge. Okay. I'm a country boy. I'm not that smart. He's a preacher. He is smart and wears nice suits. Who said that?
We know he's not smart because he can't even count to 5.
That is your hint. He cannot count to 5.
Cannot count to 5. That is your hint.
And that may be the amount of children he has, but we're not sure yet.
He's not sure yet.
He's not sure.
Andrea has chimed in with Walker.
All right.
Anyone else?
You're right. Them oligarchs, they need to take him out.
Herschel.
Okay.
To go along with the Walker.
What say you, Walter and Kevin, if you're there? Chris, if you're still there. Tick, 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 tick. What say you, Honor?
I say it's Herschel Walker because, again, as you said, he has children. How many was he claiming at first? Was it 2? Oh, 1?
Yeah, 1 or 2, and then 2 more popped up. 1 popped up, and then another popped up.
And then another popped up. Yeah, he couldn't even count the number of children he had.
I really think that's the problem. He just couldn't count them. Maybe he wasn't hiding them at all. He just couldn't count that high.
Well, I can count that high in Spanish, so that's dumb. Like he said, he not that smart. That was that is the most truthful statement you will probably make all campaign. I'm not that smart.
Right? Herschel discovered the moon. Yes, Herschel Walker. Here's my favorite quote of the week. A Trump indictment will cause the country to run out of beer.
I did not catch that one.
A Trump indictment will cause the country to run out of beer. Let's see. A woman. She's had several books out about Donald Trump.
Okay. Oh, you know what? Okay.
A Trump indictment will cause the country to run out of beer. I'm looking forward to that debate too. Oh,
me too. When is it? Is it scheduled? Did they agree?
I know. I have to go back and see. I thought they have a date. Mary Trump says Andrea. May Trump says Ghost. What you say, Walter? Artie? Anyone else out there? Any guesses? Mary Trump. Oh, I thought you were trying to be funny. May Trump. Because I was going to start calling her that too.
May.
Ooh, Maggie Haberman. Good guess. All right. A Trump indictment will cause the country to run out of beer. The answer is correct. Mary Trump. We knew what you were talking about, Ghost. It's good. It's all good. All right, here's one from this week as well. Oh, me. I want them to suffer, says this person right before the trial of an insurrectionist that was just got 7 years in prison.
I think I know who this is because I think I know what that trial was related to.
Yes. I can't say too much. Well, let's just say he was.
The debate is October 14th. Everyone out there listening, October 14th, mark your calendars.
Yes, it's a couple of weeks. Thank you. I want them to suffer, said this person before the trial of an insurrectionist. Who assaulted him? Badly.
Yes, Walter. Who did he? Yep. You're getting warm. It's like a
Capitol Police officer.
A game of hot butter beans. Warmer.
Yeah, y'all know this officer is not done. Did this guy get tased? Oh, he did. Okay. So go shoot. You're on the right track.
Was it with his
Right. And y'all may not remember his.
Walter's on the right track too. Yeah. The most outspoken of them all.
Yeah, the most with the tattoos. First name Michael.
Andrea, come on, girl.
That's right. Yes. Michael Fanone. Good job, everybody. Oh, in the neck. Yeah, he was like, I want y'all to suffer just like I suffered.
And he did. That's hard to watch.
All right. Next. The judiciary has to make it clear it is not patriotism. It's not standing up for America to stand up for one man who knows full well that he lost. The judiciary has to make it clear it is not patriotism. It is not standing up for America to stand up for one man who knows full well that he lost.
We need hints.
Yeah. So related to the last question, the last quote. It was said during the trial.
During the trial?
Of the last guy. of the 1-6 guy that got 7 years.
Yeah, I'm out. I just know he got 7 years and he was the person that assaulted Officer Falcone. I didn't pay attention to anything else, but people are guessing.
Oh, sorry.
Cheney. No. Yeah.
It was a judge.
You really went there obscure with that one, didn't you?
Oh my God. Judge Amy Bernard Jackson. She was appointed by Obama. She's a big judge and she oversaw this trial. And after the trial, I know this
Mary would have gotten this if she
you know what? That is true. She would have known this judge. She absolutely would have. That's right.
She's not even on tonight.
But I mean, it's just amazing that she called this shit out. She's like, listen, I have to make it clear. It is not patriotism. It is not. This is what she was telling the guy that got sentenced to the 7 years. Like, that's not what this is. He does not stand up for America to stand up for one man who knows full well. One more, and then we can carry on.
Yes.
Okay, this is easy. Claiming that you have money. Wait a minute. Claiming you have. Hold on. God, it's on top of each other. Okay. Claiming you have money that you don't have is not the art of the deal, but the art of the steal.
I heard this quote. I'm going to think.
That judge was in the news today. Yeah. Like she's.
Mercedes still trying to be relevant.
No, this judge, Amy Bernard Jackson, that reprimanded that
Oh, okay.
insurrectionist.
Oh, okay.
Go says Letitia James, claiming you have money that you don't have is not the art of the deal, but the art of the steal. All right.
Mm-hmm.
What say you, Walter? That's right. LJ. Letitia James. That is correct. Good job, guys.
Yeah.
That was fun. Yeah, that was fun. Good job.
Yes,
Yay,
it was.
that was fun. I love quotes and questions. I love
Me
quotes.
too.
That's
Me
like my
too.
favorite.
Especially when I know them.
Right. Sometimes they're hard, but most of the time, we got that. So what's up next? The second half of the show.
The second half of the show, I want to talk about voting, midterms, 2024, allyship, women standing together, because we have had one wonderful example. Well, there are two protests, and there's women involved in that protest in Russia too.
Mhm.
But a stellar example of a protest of women having had enough and are out there making their voices heard to change the system. So this is about women standing together. Now that I said all of that, I want to talk to our white women allies. So Miss Lana Quest, in case y'all don't know, is a very prolific and a spectacular tweeter. She tweeted out a tweet a couple of days ago. I'm gonna read it for y'all. I asked her to read it, but it said, over the years, Black women marched, organized, and rallied. We knew what was at stake. Instead of working tirelessly for constituents, Republicans worked to usurp democracy. White women, this is a call to action for you. We need you to come out and record numbers with us. And we do. Now, let me tell you, y'all, this tweet, because I took a picture of it at 7:09 p.m., is up to 712 likes, 83 retweets, because the tweet is fire. She's absolutely right. And you know what? Girl, I went and looked at those retweets. People were full on there with you. There was one woman that retweeted. She says, I am a 70-year-old white woman. I am right there with you. We must vote blue to save our democracy. Like the retweets were fire. They were positive. All colors, white women, Black women. I retweeted. I'm Black woman. Great. I don't even want a little problem.
And now Andrea and Ghost know because they were in the thread too.
So we had, I'm not even going to do no full shout out. We had one reply that said, and this was a white woman. So I'm primarily, again, talking to white women, but this is again about midterms, allyship, 2024, standing together, voting. Because that's what you were talking about, voting. Right. Come on. We've been doing the exact same thing, not to mention for a lot longer. Womp womp. No. No.
Like
no.
I was just like, I put question mark. Like, I think my first reply was question mark? What you mean? Like, what does that mean?
Well, I'm going to say, because you were talking about marching, organizing, and rallying, right? And they have done that. The women's suffrage movement, right? They did that and were able to give white women the right to vote.
They didn't do that alone, but they didn't even do that alone, right? Black women helped them our Black suffragists march with them and help push the envelope for white women to be able to vote. And then Black women had to wait 50 years later because white women didn't turn around and help us, right? And again, this isn't, like Anna said, this is about voting in midterms, because that is exactly what the tweet was about. The tweet wasn't about white women. Like, it wasn't about that.
It is, and it was a solid tweet, because white women, and this is statistical fact, it has been talked about, more white women voted for Donald Trump in 2020 than what they did in 2016. And if you didn't know what he was about in 2016, you full well knew what he was about in 2020. What were you doing voting for this man if you call yourself an ally of people of color?
Right.
What, like, on that alone, that touches on the allyship part of it.
Right.
What were you doing?
Right. Right. And that's the whole point of the tweet. That was the purpose of the tweet, to say Black women have marched. We've marched the civil rights. We've marched anti-slavery. Like, we've marched since the beginning of time. We're putting the work in. Now we have to march together. Doesn't mean that white women have never marched. I'm just saying, we've continued. We've never stopped. We didn't like just get in there halfway, right, to a problem. We've been doing it from A, not in H. We started in A, and we're still marching, and we're the biggest voting bloc. So we've been voting Democratic. That's just what we do. We vote Democratic. We have supported the Democratic Party. White women do not. You go with what your husbands do. So if your husbands are Republicans and capitalists and all of this, that's how you tend to vote too. And there's nothing wrong with that.
It's not serving your interest. There is something wrong with that.
Well, I'm talking about, as conservatives, how the party used to be, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, it wasn't anything wrong with that as the party was before, if you were conservative, and then I get it. But at this point, come on, y'all voted for Trump. So I'm saying, don't vote for these people now. Stand with Black women, and let's go to the polls together. That's what that meant. I don't know what it means that white women have been doing it longer. I
don't know what they've been doing longer. They were not standing up for us during slavery.
Yeah,
it is
they
also
benefiting.
They benefited. We raised their children. We had to deal with their men. We were treated horribly by them. Yeah. Like you said, doing Reconstruction, we got a little bit. They were. I said this during Reconstruction. They were forming the Daughters of the American Revolution. Formatting the Confederate-friendly American history curriculum that we learn now, and erecting statues to Confederate soldiers.
Right.
That's what they were doing during Reconstruction.
Right.
And then, they felt like they wanted a little bit more say. So, they wanted to vote. So they got that right, left us out.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's the other piece too. Act like white women. Like that wasn't being said in like some vacuum. It's pure fact. And who else knows that it's pure fact that white women will go home to vote for these racist Republicans? Republicans know that, because that's why they readjusted their talking points. So now their talking points are crime and immigration. They're not doing inflation anymore. Pay attention. They're like, oh, the suburban women, we can get them back into the fold. And we talk about the Mexicans are out there raping them again. We can get them back.
Exactly.
If we talk
crime and immigration.
Crime and immigration, because that is what Trump did when he came down the escalator and said, Mexicans aren't bringing their best. They're bringing the rapists and the blah, blah, blah. That's exactly what Republicans are going back to, that because they know that they need you white women to come back to the fold. So
we need you all not to be so gullible and naive, because if you vote them back in, I don't even watch The Handmaid's Tale, but I've heard enough about it to know that's what this country is going to turn into. There will be a national abortion ban. There will be a ban on contraceptives. Like, I don't know what else needs to be said for you all to start voting in your own self-interest. We have always done, actually, we voted Democrat, and sometimes we did not get the benefits that we were supposed to get.
Right.
But we continue to do so because we know the Republicans offer us nothing. And they really don't offer white women anything either.
They don't offer white women anything. They're about to take affirmative action away, white ladies. You're the biggest beneficiaries of affirmative action.
But they got you so spooked up thinking it's only Black people.
You're getting it. It's you. They don't have to hire white women either. It's just going to be men at these corporations. They won't hire you either.
Exactly. Like there's just so much, like just following blindly behind the politics of your family, your spouse. That is not serving that's not serving women's interests. It's not. Right. There is nothing that Republicans are talking about that are going to serve our interests. And again, we as Black women know, we've been done new.
Yeah.
We've been done new.
We done new long time ago.
We've been done new. We are trying to get you all to wake up.
Right.
Wake up.
And that's it. It's not a slight. It's just like, just join us. It's okay. So it's okay that Black women marched longer. Like, and then she said, and the person deleted this part of the tweet and said that we're all suffering in our own ways, or we all have things that we're dealing with, like saying Black women and white women. It's like, no, that's still not true. You're still not getting it, because whatever white women go through in the workforce, go through in America, Black women are going through it as well, because we're women, and worse because we're Black. Like,
thank you.
What are you talking about?
Thank you.
What white women cannot name one thing that they're going through that Black women are not going through, unless you're going to say burns from the sun. You get sunburn. Some Black women get that too, but I mean, I guess you could claim that.
Right. But other than that, no, the struggle has not been the same because y'all haven't had struggle.
Oh,
that's like the entire notion of white privilege. And that falls under for white women too. Y'all have not had struggle. Right. Y'all ain't had struggle.
No. It doesn't negate the fact that you've had hard times. Again, if we're talking about white privilege, and Andrea knows this because she loves to tweet about white privilege. It doesn't mean that just you're white. Yes, you've gone through a hard time. You could have been homeless, lost your job, all of that stuff. But
that's
a white
life,
right? Like white homelessness is different than Black homelessness. If a cop picks up someone white and homeless, they're probably gonna pick you up, put you in the cell, let you dry out if you're drunk, send you on your way, drive you home, ask you if you got some relatives. A Black homeless person, and let it be a man, that's like a death sentence. They may kill you or beat you. So it's just a difference. We're just asking our allies just to be more cognizant of the things that you say. Just don't make sense. It's not a contest. It's not an oppression contest. It's like oppression Olympics. Like we're just stating facts. Just let's get together. That's it.
I don't think I've ever read an article or heard any history where of the oppression of white people. Like, I'm just really being truthful. Like, not in American history. Like, never.
How? Are you being denied loans because of the color of your skin? Because that's exactly what the privilege is. It's like, yeah, you've had hardships, but it's not due to the color of your skin. No one's saying, oh, that white person, that's a white person. We're not giving them that loan. That's a white person. They can't come into our school. Like, no one's saying that to you.
Right.
Who's following the white person around in the store? What? He's stealing.
Right. How about that?
I even have to tell myself, like, you ever be in a car alone, and like you see someone walking up and it's a white person, and I'm like, girl, make sure your door's unlocked. Don't be brainwashed into thinking just because it's a white person, it's, you know what I mean?
Honey,
Like,
oh no. I don't.
it's like,
I'm
click.
sorry, y'all. I don't play with white people like that.
Listen,
I don't know. Mm-mm.
it's crazy. It's
Mm-mm.
definitely crazy out here. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but the point in the moral is midterms are coming, and we definitely all have to get out here and vote. Black, white, black men,
Yes.
black
Black
men.
men, black men and white women. White men, please. We have great allies. Kevin is a great ally. We have great men allies in our group. Ghost, Kevin, Walter. We have great allies, male allies. Talk to your friends. Talk to your uncles. Talk to your dads. Talk to your cousins. Talk to your homies. Tell them. Make sure they know the importance of voting.
Right.
That's to the men in our chat and listening to us.
Man. Latinos, hello. What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? They're calling you rapists. They're treating people.
Well, you know what? And they won't do anything about immigration.
They don't care about that. They want immigration to be a problem. And immigration is not anything. And we talked about this. It's almost a problem that cannot be fixed. They will talk about immigration for the next 1,000 years. It can't be, it's just one of those problems. You could try to lessen it, do better, get less border crossings.
Here's the thing now. Here's the thing that I am like realizing. Immigration is a very big bucket, right? And the Republicans have whittled immigration down to mean illegal border crossings, right? So we need to kind of separate that out, because if you look at what dumbass DeSantis did, flying the asylum seekers to Martha's Vineyard, right? They were not illegal aliens. They were not undocumented migrants. They were documented asylum seekers. I think we really need to, like, those that know, even the media, we need to start parsing out, like, everybody that comes to the border is not wading through the river, putting the ladder up to the wall, just coming for no reason at all, right? I mean, I personally did not know, because I have not been paying attention to Venezuela, that it is a communist country, but we're welcoming Ukrainians. We have welcomed people from Europe for some of those same things. Like,
we will welcome Russians that are running from Putin. I could swear I heard someone on TV, a lawmaker, I was in another room, talk about we welcome them. I'm like, oh, wow. We do?
So, yeah, I mean, so we really need to start to hone in on, like, definitions. There are things that can be done for immigration. There's like the undocumented crossings, or, you know, people just coming to the border that's one issue. But, you know, fix the asylum system. Have like those people, they said they picked up, they went to a homeless shelter. Like they were standing outside the homeless shelter. Like there has to be, there can be parts of the system that can be fixed. Republicans don't want it fixed. They run on it every year. I'm not even going to say every 4 years. Every freaking year.
Every year. Yeah, they do. Oh my gosh, this was a great show. I had fun. So before we end, let's quit now. I'm not going to read a Black Excellence. I just want to say congratulations to Halle Bailey, who is our new Black mermaid. I want to say congratulations to her. I want to say F you to all the racist people who have a problem with a Black fictional character, because where do they do that at? What is wrong with you people? Stop it. So congrats to Halle Bailey, and rest in peace, Coolio.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, man. Gangsta's Paradise. That's just really sad. And Andrea, thank you for my book. I am definitely getting a lot of use out of this book. So it's like all of my notes are in here. So thank you, Andrea. I'm so happy. You have any closing words of advice?
I am. And actually, they are going to be to you. Girl, keep tweeting, keep doing your thing, keep reaching that audience out there. I'm going to give you a shout out because you hit 20.5 thousand followers.
30.
Yes,
Stop
indeed.
playing, girl.
I'm sorry. Oh.
Stop.
30.5.
It's 6 now.
30.6. Because you know what? The 712 likes and counting, because this is actually from 2 days ago, is letting you know that everything that you are saying is on point and you are reaching people. So you keep right on doing that.
Thank you, Honor.
Yes,
Oh,
indeed it was.
I love you. That's very sweet. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone in the chat. I appreciate you guys.
Thanks, chat.
Oh my God, you guys are the great. Like Andrea, thank you. Coming up every week. Ghost. Walter, thank you.
Yes,
Kevin.
Artie was in.
Yeah, Artie. Kevin was here. Well, I don't see Artie. Thank you. Michelle Porter. Oh, sorry. Michelle P. Another P. She's not here anyway, but thank you.
No, Michelle Porter was on here.
But she was? Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you all. We definitely appreciate you guys.
We appreciate y'all.
Yeah. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Go watch some football.
Girl, you know I am because we won last week. Oh.
There you go. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.